Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today I'm with John Johnson. He's from the Nebraska Star Party. John, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jake, for
John,
inviting me.
give us a little background on you. Where did you grow up? And talk a little bit about your career first.
Okay. I grew up on a farm out in central Nebraska, south central, south of the Platte River. Spent my first, 15 years around that area. Always had been interested in stargazing. Of course, when I grew up out there on a farm, every clear night, the stars were just amazing. We didn't even know what light pollution was back then. And so I went ahead, I graduated from Gothenburg High School and then went on to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Got a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and I was also on a Navy ROTC scholarship. So I and my wife were off to the Navy. I spent 4.5 years active duty in the Navy on a ship out of San Diego. And then I got out. I went to work in Louisiana for a big oil company, Shell Oil. Lasted down there a few years, ended up back in Omaha. I've worked for various energy companies, finished up my career with about a 26-year stint with Omaha Public Power District at their nuclear power station they were running back then. So, but I've always had this passion for astronomy throughout the years, and since I'm retired now, most of my time is spent doing outreach and education and promoting the Nebraska Star Party.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Where did your passion for astronomy come from?
Well, I grew up in the late 50s, early 60s, and it was just the dawn of the space age, and every young guy that had any interest in tinkering with stuff and gazing up at the stars wanted to be an astronaut, which I was part of that group. Never did quite make the cut to be an astronaut, mainly because of these,
Right.
Back then, the only way you could actually have any hope of doing that would you had to join the military and go through a pilot training. They were all ex-military pilots, and my eyes kind of shut me down there. But I maintained that interest. I always tell people ask me, well, why didn't you become an astronomer? Well, yeah, you can make a lot more money being an engineer than you can an astronomer, at least back then.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I enjoyed a really remarkable career in the various energy industries as a mechanical engineer. And as I said, ended up working at a nuclear power station, although I was not in the actual Navy nuclear power, but that's just the way it went. But like I said, I just continued that interest in astronomy over the years. Been involved in leadership roles in about 3 different astronomy clubs around the country. Been active in the Omaha Astronomical Society, which is the local astronomy club here in Omaha, for 30 plus years. And then, like I said, we got involved with Nebraska Star Party, which is our premier stargazing event in Nebraska.
Perfect. Okay, so for the listener who's listening right now, describe the Star Party when they get out of their vehicle on site. What are they going to see, hear, smell? Just describe the event for us.
We hold it up at it's called Merritt Reservoir State Recreation Area. It's a pristine lake up in the north central Nebraska in the Sandhills. It was originally developed as an irrigation project, as was many dams throughout the Midwest and Great Plains area were. What's unique about this lake is it's in the Sandhills, and the beaches are sand beaches, and it's a beautiful lake, and beautiful rolling grasslands right up to the edge of the lake. But it's also in an area that has or very minimal, if any, light pollution. And what I mean by that, there's no major developments of cities, town, industry, or anything. the closest town is Valentine, Nebraska, which has a population of maybe, I don't know, 3,400 people.
Yep.
Minimal light. And we're about, as the proverbial crow flies, we're about 40 miles southwest of Valentine. We hold it right on one of the campsites at the park. And as someone that has never been there, you step out of your car. Well, obviously, we encourage you to get there before dark because it is dark. We tell people, like people have never been there before, just come out, park your car, and watch the sunset and watch the stars come out. It becomes a very spiritual, moving event. I mean, if you haven't spent time away from light, and I mean all light, there's zero lights around there. Maybe a couple boat ramp lights a couple miles away is all we have. And it gets dark, but as your eyes get used to the night sky, you're seeing all these stars, like the Native Americans, early pioneers that were in this area 100 years ago saw. And it just is amazing. People just, their mouths open. They just can't believe how dark the skies are.
So how do you pick your date? What if the clouds are out?
Well, we can't do anything about the clouds. We always schedule, as much as we wish we could, we always schedule the event around the new moon of either late July, early August. So obviously we try to avoid as much moonlight as possible, because the moon obviously becomes a source of light pollution. So it's always scheduled depending on when the new moon falls. And it's, like I said, the one for this year, 2023, will be from the 16th through the 21st, that week of the third week of July. I think the new moon falls about right in the middle of the month there.
Yep. Now, are there other things going on this time of year?
Well, we encourage this to be a whole family destination type vacation. There is so much to see up there. There's just the lake itself, swimming in the lake, kayaking. If you want to tow your personal recreation ski-doo or whatever we call them, it's a great lake. It's even big enough that if you do a little small boat sailing. Now, one of the big attractions up there for the public is canoeing, kayaking, tubing down the Niobrara River, which flows the small river that the lake is built on is called Snake River, but it flows into the Niobrara River. And the Niobrara River, especially as it goes east from Valentine, is an absolutely gorgeous recreation area. Obviously, there's a lot of what we call outfitters up there that provide the canoes and the inner tubes if you don't want to bring your own. But the kayaking recreation thing is, as you probably realize, taken off in recent years, and so a lot of people will bring their kayaks up there and kayak the river. As you go down the river, I don't know, 15, 20 miles, there is the largest waterfall in Nebraska. And believe it or not, it's a waterfall over 100 feet high, where a small stream spills over the edge of the canyon and flows into the Niobrara River.
Very cool. So the whole community kind of embraces this event. Do you have anything? Yes. Do you have anything going on during the day? Any food vendors? Any entertainment crafts?
We sponsor, as part of the registration, a evening catered meal out at the site. We rent large, tents, activity or entertainment activity type tents, and they come out and provide us with a catered meal. One of the evenings we set up the barbecues, and we have just an old fashioned, good old barbecue hamburger meal. And then we do that for a number of nights. On Wednesday, the middle of the week, we invite everybody into the Valentine High School, which is a really beautiful facility for the size of the town. have a beautiful auditorium, and we'll put on lectures on various aspects of astronomy. We'll invite guest speakers in from around the country, and we also have an astrophotography contest for those that are into imaging the night sky, and we give prizes away for that. And as I said earlier, we really cater to the family. For those bringing young children, we have a children's class day that day also to teach them a little bit about astronomy at an appropriate level. We also hold during the day, during Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at the high school, we hold a field school, we call it, for beginners. And we take them from the very basics all the way up to, what type of equipment to purchase if they're really interested. And it's always been very well received.
Man, that's awesome.
Go ahead. Yeah. What else?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Remind us of the dates of this again.
The dates again for this year, 2023, are July 16th. That's a Sunday. We kick off on a Sunday, and then it runs through the 21st, Friday the 21st. Friday night especially, we invite the general public from as far and wide as they want to come for a general stargazing night. As we mentioned earlier, we're all it all depends on the weather.
Yep.
Sorry. We and that's why we always encourage those that want to attend, as a registered attendee, try to at least come 3 days, 3 nights, because you never know. Because if you just come up from one night, we can't control the clouds. Now, that being said, that's just in itself an awesome sight. We get some absolutely spectacular thunderstorms that will build up. As long as they aren't building up right over us, they're just really fun to watch up there. Because this is just like Montana, big sky country, very few trees, but that lends to a certain beauty that is it's hard to explain unless you've been up in that part of the country. Because you can see for miles. You can watch thunderheads build up, 75, 80, 100 miles away. Especially during the evening or as the sun is getting low, you'll get some spectacular sunset colors and everything too.
Perfect. Okay, John, how do people find out more information about the Nebraska Star Party?
There's we have 2 internet sources. Of course, our website is nebraskastarparty.org, and you can probably look that up and make that link, Jake. Yep. And then we do maintain a Facebook page, Nebraska Star Party Facebook page. That's probably our 2 main online sources. There's on the web page, there's ways to contact us if you want more information, if you have specific questions about camping or what other facilities up there. We'll respond to that. It's there again. I want people to realize, it's a spectacular place, but we're out in the boonies, so to speak. So you got to kind of come prepared. As I said, the closest town is Valentine, 35, 40 miles away. So come prepared for changes in weather, and depending on whether you want to rough it by just camping out under the stars, or if you want to bring an RV or a camper, we accommodate everything.
That'll work. John Johnson, thanks for being on with us, Live Music Nation podcast. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Well, baby,